Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to Astrology with Georgie. In this video we are going to be talking about the upcoming full moon in Aries on the 17th of October. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Georgie. Thank you for being here. I am an astrologer living in the UK and I use the tropical zodiac and I also use whole sign houses. So that is what you will be seeing on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the full moon on a personal level. So I'm going to be talking kind of the general theme of the full moon and how it is going to affect you personally, your individual signs. So bear with, we will run through the signs. Before we get into it, I do personal readings. So if you would like your own personal chart read, please take a look at the information. My website is linked here. You can see all the readings that I offer on there. If you're unsure which reading you need, which reading you'd like, just feel free to send me an email, drop me a message, and we can have a little chat. If you are new and you don't subscribe to the channel, please subscribe. I am slowly building up the channel. If you do get some value from this, please give it a thumbs up, as that helps the apparently helps it push it out to new people. So I would much appreciate that if you get some value. So what are we looking at today? So we are looking at the full moon in Aries. Now, there's quite a lot of different parts to this full moon. It's happening at 24 degrees of Aries. So kind of taking it back, when we think about what Aries is, thinking about kind of the energy of Aries and what a full moon is, because already that in itself can just give you a general vibe of the full moon. We'll take a little look at the aspects and then we'll take a look at it for each individual sign. So Aries is a cardinal fire sign. Fire is energy, it's action, it's motivation, it's going after something. Fire full moons can be a bit more dramatic because quite literally it's fiery. So kind of on a collective world basis, we could see things in the news that are potentially a bit aggressive and more combative during this time. A full moon is when the sun is opposite the moon in the sky, and this is when our emotions are being brought to the surface. This is when things are being highlighted. So if you imagine the sun is illuminating, the sun is illuminating, the moon is completely full in the sky, so things are being lit up. Our emotions are being lit up. Our emotions are coming out in a more of a fiery manner. Information is coming to light. So these are the key themes in general of full moons: things coming to light, things being lit up, things releasing, because we release under a full moon, and things coming to an end. Okay, it's the ending of a cycle. But generally during a full moon, you can just feel really busy, because as the energy builds, as the moon builds into light, we can just find ourselves being really busy. So you may find the days leading up to this full moon, you could possibly already realize what this full moon is going to mean for you, but just generally you might be feeling just a bit busier, just a bit more wired. It's a time where, you know, typically you don't tend to sleep that well when the moon is full, because quite literally your energy is heightened. Now, the full moon itself is ruled by Mars. Okay, now Mars being the energy of combat, passion, going after what we want, you know, our fighting spirit. It's the planet of war. Mars at the moment is debilitated over here in Cancer. Okay, so Mars is in a very emotional sign right now. So obviously we've seen recently all this all these awful storms, people protecting their homes. This is part of the story of Mars in Cancer, because Cancer is the sign of the home and the family. Mars being the warrior, we are very much having to protect our homes. Not so much us, because I'm safely in the UK, but people obviously in America is one example of how this has manifested because of the recent eclipse that we've had. But Mars is ruling this full moon, okay? And it's in a tense aspect, okay, and it's quite tight. It's only 2-degree orb. So when we see squares are more challenging, they're more tense, and they require more effort. So let's just talk about this on a personal level. When you have something squaring in your chart, it's going to be something that requires more effort, or it's going to feel more frustrating than normal. Okay, obviously it depends which part of your chart, but we're going to come on to that. So typically this is going to be a full moon, either the ending of something or something coming to light or being busy, but there's this energy of something feeling a bit frustrating. Now, this could manifest on an emotional level because Mars is in Cancer and Cancer is our emotion. So it could be feelings of frustration, feelings of aggravation. That's how it could manifest, or it can be a physical thing that manifests. Okay, we never quite know whether something is going to manifest physically or psychologically. It is different for everybody. The moon itself, I actually haven't got it on this chart, but Chiron is at, I want to say, 21 degrees of Aries as well. So this full moon is very close to Chiron, and Chiron is our wounded healer. Okay, so having a full moon close to Chiron is an opportunity to heal something that we've been working on for a while in the Aries part of our chart. Okay, now Chiron is its vulnerability. So you could be feeling vulnerable under this full moon. You could be feeling kind of something that you've been wanting to heal is being addressed. It's being highlighted at this time, something that you need to heal within you, depending on where you have Aries in your chart. Okay, but there's this element of this full moon being really close to Chiron. So it's some pain coming to the surface, an opportunity to heal. For some of you, it could be that you're helping others heal, but it's just this sense of feeling vulnerable, feeling wounded around this time. Okay, so it's not the easiest full moon. Now, the other aspect of this full moon that is making it more challenging is that Mars isn't applying an opposition to Pluto. Okay, so we are going to see some power struggles, potentially some violence, but that's probably more out in the world. But there's potential for violence, potential for power struggles. Pluto wants to be in control, and Mars is our energy. When it's opposed, it's usually this standoff between you and another person in some sense, who's in charge. Okay, so that's just something to be aware of. And then the saving grace of this is, so the full moon itself squaring, so squaring Mars, squaring Pluto, which again, similar themes of kind of having to address taking back your power in some sense. It is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini, which is helpful, and it is also, I think that's the only positive aspect going on with this full moon, but it's happening in the third decan, okay, and this is important as well because the third decan is actually ruled by Jupiter in Aries, okay, because the third decan is Sagittarius. Third decan of Aries is a Sagittarius energy, so it's ruled by Jupiter. So this is going to be helping us, okay. Now the third decan of Aries is actually governed by the Four of Wands or the Four of Fire tarot card. And I want to read you this positive affirmation because the full moon itself is challenging, but there's potential here for collaboration and for this to not be as difficult as what it kind of looks at face value, because it's got the Jupiter element, because it's towards the end of Aries. So I'm going to read you the positive affirmation for this card, and then we're going to get into the signs. So this section, this decan of Aries, is suggesting a new creative phase. So bearing in mind, this is fire energy, okay? So this is creation, it is creativity. So that's something to note. A new creative phase, collaboration, pleasure, and harmony in relationships. Dancers have partners, singers have musicians helping them create sweet music, and I find others who are in sync with me and my desires. It's a time for celebrating friendship and all that others bring to my life, a time for revelry and relishing the pleasures of being in good company. Making magic together with others is the focus at this time. So although the full moon is a little bit challenging, this section that the moon is in is actually quite beneficial, and it's saying that, you know, reach out to other people at this time. Surround yourself with other people at this time. It could be family members, you know, the ruler of this is in Cancer. But it's just suggesting that whatever you're going through, you don't have to go through alone. And you can reach out and collaborate. So whatever this is for you personally, reach out and collaborate with other people, okay? Now, obviously, whatever's going on in your personal chart will colour this, and that is important because yes, the full moon itself is looking a bit challenging, but how is it aspecting things in your individual chart? This is definitely going to color things for you. And so just always remember that these videos are more generic. If you do have any planets or points around the 24-degree mark, so this is 22 to 26 of Aries, Capricorn, Libra, or Cancer, you guys will feel this more strongly. And you may feel this in a more kind of challenging way because it's happening in one of your angular houses, okay? That's just something to be aware of. But for all of us, it's going to be happening somewhere in our chart. And so we are going to go into the signs now. Did I want to say anything else? No, that's a general energy of the full moon. It's a fiery energy. It's the releasing of something, asking us to be brave, asking us to go after what we want and our desires, because that's what Aries is all about, okay? It is also worth mentioning that the North Node is in Aries. A full moon itself is not close enough for this to be classed as an eclipse. However, it's in the same sign, so you could say that it's a sign-based eclipse, but it's more than 15 degrees away. It's about 20 degrees away. The North Node is at 5 degrees. The full moon is actually happening at 24, so it's like 19 degrees away. So technically it's not an eclipse, however, it's in the same sign. So I would pay attention to this as quite an important full moon, more than others, because the fact that the North Node is still here and we've been having these Libra Aries eclipses going on. So we are still, it's still the similar themes within these sections of your chart, okay? So just a side note. Now, please do listen for your sun, your moon, and your rising. It's a full moon. The sun and the moon are involved. You may feel that your sun resonates more than your moon, but listen to both, and it's going to be most accurate for your rising sign. So, Aries and Aries rising. This, for you guys, is really important because this full moon is happening in your sign. You guys are going to be feeling this really strongly. Where is your sun or your moon or your rising? Which degree is it at? Okay, is it close to 24? I know this is 21 here, but that's because I've had to move it around. It's happening at 24. So how close is this to you? You guys are having a shift. You're having a realization around who you are, the direction of your life. Now, something's coming to light. Something's coming to light. You could be really busy around this time. You could be having relationship issues around this time. You could be being forced to deal with your own stuff and move more towards being independent around this time. North Node is in your sign. This is encouraging you still to focus on yourself and to let go of relationships that aren't serving you. There's still this pull towards yourself, Aries, okay? And it's encouraging you to, whatever realization you're having, whatever frustrations you're having, especially around something to do with your family life, it's pushing you towards your independence, towards your, be courageous, be brave, be independent, be who you truly are. Okay, these are what the eclipse stories in your sign is all about. Go after what you want. The ruler of this is in your 4th house. This is your family. This is your home. This is Mars in the 4th is conflict in the family, conflict in the home. Potentially because of the square. Now, Mars's energy, so it could just be you're having more energy in the home. So for some of you, it could simply look like renovating, moving, just putting more energy and action and motivation towards a home project. But a lot of you, this is going to be your emotions. What is happening right now that's causing you to feel frustrated? What's happening? Where are you experiencing power struggles? Now, for some of you, this could be work related because Mars is opposing Pluto in your 10th house. What's going on? There's some sort of power struggle here between something happening at home and something happening outside of yourself from another person. So for some of you, it could be that you're wanting to work wanting to be at home more, feeling frustrated you can't be at home more, but actually you're being pulled to work. So there could be some changes going on in your career, these last minute changes as Pluto has retrograded back into your 10th house, and it's causing you some sort of frustration. Okay, there's a power struggle. There's some sort of power struggle going on here. Now, but because this is in the sign of Cancer, it's a lot of this is going to be your emotions. So something is causing you to feel frustrated, or you could just notice that you're feeling frustrated around this time. Perhaps you're working too much, perhaps it's a partner. But there's a realization around kind of who you are as a person under this full moon. Okay, now there is going to be one more eclipse in the spring, Aries. I want to say it's in Aries. I feel like it's in Aries. I'm just trying to remember if it's Aries or Libra. I'm pretty sure it's a new moon eclipse in Aries. I think it is. So that's going to be a new beginning for you guys. So just, we're still kind of in this theme of pushing towards yourself and towards your direction. Okay. Now you have got Jupiter retrograding in your third as well. So this is perhaps affecting communication. So this is just going to be a process of maybe having to go over conversations with somebody, or having to rethinking around your thought processes. But yeah, so under this full moon, just make sure that your communication is, you're doing best to communicate effectively, is what I want to say, basically. I'm going to do a tarot pull for you guys. I'm going to pull a card. You've got, you've currently got, obviously Mars rules you, so that's really important, thinking about what Mars is doing. But Venus, planet of beauty and love and harmony in our relationships, is in your 8th house at the moment, in Scorpio as well. So this is an intense time for some of you within relationships, so some sort of going deeper intimately if you are in a relationship. If you're not, it could just be you're spending more time on psychotherapy or developing your mind, or having an interest in the occult or something like that. Ace of Water. Okay, it's an emotional card for you guys then. Ace of Water. I'm going to read you the positive affirmation, because these tarot cards like to give positive affirmation, which is quite helpful. If I can find the page. Aces is a new beginnings as well. So, okay, so this is nice. Unconditional love, overflowing abundance, and the fertility of love. I am filled with love from spirit and joyously let it flow out to others, where it fertilizes the seeds of co-creation. Love gives me hope, shining brilliant light on all the possibilities available to me. I am optimistic about bringing dreams into being. Spirit always informs me and guides me, allowing me to illuminate the darkest of places. So I feel like, Aries, some of you just need a bit of extra love right now, a bit of extra TLC. And that's what I'm getting from that. Obviously, you've still got Saturn in your 12th house of your mental health and your self-undoing. And Jupiter is going to retrograde back into a square with Saturn. So I feel like some of you just need a bit of extra love right now, and just kind of a bit of a reassurance that everything is going to be okay. So I hope it goes well for you, Aries. Let me know in the comments how this full moon manifests for you. What realizations are you having? What's going on in your life right now? And good luck. Taurus and Taurus rising. You guys are having this full moon happen in your 12th house. Okay. So Taurus, you've been having eclipses in these signs over the past year and a half. Now, even though this is too wide to be considered technically an eclipse, the North Node still is in your 12th house, okay? So this is kind of pulling you or calling you towards your spiritual self, your subconscious mind, things that you're not aware of you're doing, okay? A full moon is a realization. So perhaps during this time, you're having a realization around your self-sabotaging patterns. Maybe you're ending a cycle or a process around your like spiritual practices. So if some of you kind of meditate, do breath work, do energy work, there's a realization or an ending around something to do with that, your connection to spirit. Now, for some of you, because the 12th house is things that we can't see, it's hidden things, you might not even know what this is, because it's going on subconsciously. So it could be that your subconscious thoughts are changing, because this is squaring Mars in your 3rd house of thinking. So your subconscious thoughts could be changing some sense, but you might not even be aware of it. So what's going on in your life right now, there could be a shift in your subconscious that you're not aware of, okay? For some of you, the 12th house is, it's how we self-sabotage. I've just mentioned that. and it's squaring Mars in the third. So what kind of things are you doing? How are you speaking to yourself? What are you doing in terms of technology? Are you spending too much time on your phone and it's self-sabotaging you? Something like that. The 12th house is how we're of service to other people, because this axis is all about service to other people. So you could feel a bit busier during this time because it's a full moon. The sun is in your 6th, full moon in the 12th. You guys could be busier work-wise. But with this square to the third, it's like third is our connection. It's our connection. So a realization around how you're connecting to your higher mind. So yeah, I'm just getting like, maybe you guys have actually not been working on your mental health recently, and this is bringing you back, and you're actually thinking, oh, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to my self-love due to retrograding in the second. But there's a realization or an ending around some sort of energy work, or yeah, the way that you're speaking to yourself and your self-sabotaging patterns could be changing, and actually you could be getting ready to move forward and start a new chapter in that sense. Your beliefs could be changing because you have had Pluto move back into your 9th house. How are your beliefs shifting around this time? Mars in your 3rd is kind of, I mean, typically it's frustrations around or just energy behind, again, like connecting with people. Mars is your neighborhood. How can you get out into your neighborhood and serve people? How can you, maybe you're traveling a lot, but this square is probably going to manifest on a psychological level. So some frustrations around your thought processes, or yeah, patterns of thinking with Mars opposing Pluto. So I think a lot of this is going to be going on mentally for you, Taurus around this time. And that is just something to know. And we're going to pull a tarot card for you. Sorry, my phone was just ringing. I had to turn that off. We're going to pull a tarot card for you. During this time, you have got Venus moving through your 7th house of relationships. So this speaks towards going a bit deeper with a partner. It speaks towards kind of pleasantries within. If you are have a client-based business, getting on well with your clients, benefiting your clients, more harmonious kind of interactions with other people. If you are in a relationship, Venus here is helping you. So whatever things you're struggling with your mind under this full moon, Venus is here. She's helping you be able to kind of communicate things with a partner, if it's something to do with that, or if it's nothing partner related, then just kind of don't take that. That's not relevant to you. But it could be that Venus is helping your business relationships somehow. So you guys get the 3 of water, another water card. Interesting. Okay, 3 of water, same as the 3 of cups. So Taurus, celebration, enjoying community, sharing exuberance, team spirit, and common goal and friendship. So that kind of, that's kind of speaking to Venus in your 7th house about the collaboration thing. And actually the first card that we pulled about the full moon in general, collaboration around this time is important. And actually, even though you've got this square to Mars, which is tense, maybe you're having to make a bit more effort to collaborate in some sense. Joy and excitement flow among all those gathered. I embrace being a part of something larger than myself. It's a time to delight in the camaraderie as I experience the greater whole that is my community or team. We buoy each other and play together as we co-create. We are friends, family, and companions, sharing our experiences. It is a time to remember we must accept each other as we are, with both shadow and light within. Okay, so maybe you're having a realization, or this subconscious belief shift is directly connected to how you feel about other people in your life. Okay, that's what I get from that, and that collaboration is important. So don't deal with things on your own, Taurus. Okay, even though I know you like to hide away at times. Good luck. Gemini and Gemini rising, you guys are having this full moon in your 11th house. Okay, so this is an ending or a realization or energy around the groups of people that you're involved with, your friendships, organizations, or your goals. Okay, so a realization, maybe your goals are changing. Maybe you're ending a group project that you've been working on. Maybe because this is squaring Mars in your second house, so maybe you've been working on some sort of group project, and now you're collecting payments for it, or you're feeling frustrated around your finances in some sense, and it's got something to do with kind of working with other people in some sense, or a friend. Maybe you've lent a friend some money and they're not quite paying you back. Maybe your goals are changing, and this has something to do with your finances. So Mars in your second house squaring this full moon, it could be that you are having to plan for your future, and it's having a direct impact, or it's linked to your finances in some way. You guys have just had Jupiter retrograding, going backwards in your first house. So this is, a slowing down, new opportunities coming to you. It is kind of going back to do something that you had kind of bypassed when Jupiter was moving so fast through your first house. Now it's slowing down. You're actually going back to do something that you wanted to do from before. Now you have got this Mars is some financial stuff going on here, because Mars is in your second, opposing Pluto in your eighth. So perhaps a power struggle between maybe your clients aren't paying you, because the 11th house is the collective. So perhaps if you work with a group of people or an organization, you're not getting paid, or there's a power struggle around money, or there's a power struggle around what you value. Maybe you're having a realization that your friends value something different to you, and you're having to readdress that. Could be something like that. We've also got Venus is opposing Uranus, which I seem to have not touched on yet, but Venus is opposing Uranus at this time. So this, for a lot of people, this is kind of, how do I want my relationships to be different? How, seeking freedom within relationships. You guys get the Three of Earth. This is a resource card. This is to do with money and your resources. Maybe collaboration. We're having a lot of threes actually under this. So let's read the positive affirmation for you guys. Teamwork. Building on solid foundations, group efforts, dedicated collaboration. What I'm building is grounded in a solid foundation, so I know I can trust that it will not slip away suddenly. I am joined by others in coordinated efforts to bring forth what we have chosen to co-create. The architecture of my dreams is becoming tangible, taking shape before me. And I share my joy and pride with my partners and supporters, teachers and students. We are all learning, growing, and building collaboratively. So it's interesting that those cards come out, isn't it? Because we were just talking about money and groups of people. So it's very much speaking towards, even though there's a full moon in Aries and the North Node wants you to be independent, it's also at the same time asking you to collaborate with others. So perhaps it's a sense of finding the people that are right for you in terms of collaboration. For some people that won't even make sense. It could be something to do with your friendships, just a realization around who your friends are and what they bring to your life. Okay, and letting go of old wounds, because remember it is conjunct Chiron. Letting go of old wounds, letting go of friends that no longer serve you, Gemini. Okay, good luck. Cancer and Cancer rising. You guys are having this full moon in your 10th house of career. So a full moon, it's a realization, it's an ending of a cycle, but also it's just a time of something of being very busy. So you guys, when you're in your 10th house, you could be very busy at work during this time. Mars is in your first. So what's going on for you Cancers right now? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling hella motivated? Are you thinking, fuck it, I don't want to swear, but I'm just going after what I want right now? Because that is Mars in the first in Cancer. It's a sense of determination. It's a sense of determination, and this full moon is squaring, so it could be a realization around your career. It could be that actually you're very busy during this time and you're finding it hard to balance your time. It could be feelings of frustration to do with something in your career. If some of you are going for a promotion, perhaps you didn't get it and you're feeling frustrated. If you run a client-based business, there could be some sort of power struggle here under this full moon. So that's just something to watch out for. Make sure you're kind of checking details of things. If you work with clients, there's some sort of power struggle here. It could be, so the 10th house is also your public image, your reputation. Your reputation is changing, Cancer. Your reputation, because you've got the North Node in the 10th. You know, what's been going on for you career and work-wise over the past year and a half since the North Node's been in Aries? How is your reputation changing? How are you helping others heal? Because this is conjunct Chiron. Do you not feel good enough at times? Maybe under this full moon, you're feeling a bit like the pressure's getting on top of you, and this wound, which is Chiron, is kind of being highlighted. You're like, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm not sure if I'm good enough, but I'm going to carry on going anyway, because that is Mars in the first house. Now, watch out for power struggles in relationships under this full moon, because Mars is opposing Pluto. There could be a sense of just frustrations with a partner, both of you wanting to be in control. But because this full moon is in your 10th house of career and public image, public reputation, perhaps the way that you're being perceived by the public is changing. You could be becoming more well known. Your relationship status could be changing. So you could be becoming a parent, becoming a grandparent, or perhaps you're talking about becoming a parent, but it's not happening. Because it's not happening. Mercury in the 5th. Perhaps you're talking about becoming a parent, or there's a realization around a partnership, a realization around a wedding, a realization around just how your status is changing in some sense. Okay. Venus is in your 5th. You're probably feeling very creative and very able to express yourself during this time, because you've got Mercury that's just moved into your 5th house of self-expression. You've got Venus moving through the 5th. So this is, you know, pleasantries within your relationships, your romantic relationships, being able to go deeper with a partner during this time and having deeper conversations. Now Mercury is here. And this is all kind of happening under this full moon energy, but this will be here for a few weeks. But the full moon itself, it's you're realizing how far you've come, because you had an eclipse here at the beginning of in spring. You are realizing how far you've come. Now, for some of you, this will be ending of a career. So if in spring you started a new type of career or something, for some of you, this will be ending. For others, it's going to be like, oh, wow, like this is going really well, but I'm actually really busy and I'm feeling a bit kind of run down, or having to just put a lot of physical effort in. And that's obviously fine. Now, you guys got the 6 of Earth. Again, this is another wealth card, another resource card, should we say. Earth is resources. So this is unexpected resources, happy surprises, and generosity. What I have sent forth in love comes back to me many times over. Cancer, you are very loving. You've probably been giving out a lot of love, and now you're being rewarded. As the generosity of others becomes apparent and unexpected resources show up, the universe is exhibiting its generosity, reminding me that the world is full of pleasant surprises. Inside the pretty package is tangible aid, a gift from Spirit. Just when I was beginning to doubt, I'm reminded of the treasures I am entitled to receive that show up at my door. What will I unwrap today? That is such a positive card for you, Cancer. So, you know, Mars in the first house can be feeling frustrated about something. But it can also bring you a lot of energy and effort, and you're just like, you're not putting up with stuff anymore. Pluto's just gone back into your 7th house, where you're rethinking around, you know, where do I take back my power? And you are not putting up with stuff anymore with Mars and Cancer, okay? Because this is a long, Mars is going to retrograde. So anyway, I digress. I'm mumbling, but basically, this full moon is not necessarily negative. I know I said about the challenging aspects, but it's just going to be a realization and probably just going to be very busy for you. Let me know in the comments how you think this is manifesting for you, Cancers, and good luck. Leo and Leo rising. You guys are having this full moon in Aries in your 9th house. So this is going to be a realization. It's going to be the ending of something, or feelings coming to the surface around your beliefs, or around your spirituality, your religion, or for some of you, it could be travel. So for some of you, it could be that you're realizing something about how your beliefs has changed. Your beliefs are shifting, your subconscious thoughts are shifting. The way you self-sabotage is coming to light under this time because Mars is in your 12th house. Some of you could be traveling, definitely, because full moons can bring travel. This is your 9th house of travel. Where are you going? What are you learning as you go there? Mars in the 12th is faraway lands. Perhaps you're traveling far away. For some of you, you could be completing something. So whether you're completing some form of paperwork to do with the law, so passports, contracts, that kind of thing can come under the 9th house, but it's kind of legal contracts. So clearing up some sort of, like passports, birth certificates, having to deal with kind of those things, solicitors. But the 9th house is higher learning. So for some of you, you are going to be wanting to learn something. Maybe you finish learning something. Maybe you're having a realization that you want to go back to school. But it's going to be, and perhaps you've been studying behind the scenes, learning something behind the scenes, and now it's all kind of coming to the surface, and you're having this huge realization. Now, Pluto's just gone back into your 6th house of routine. So for some of you, if this is study related, your routines are going to be changing. You're actually thinking about okay, how are my routines changing in order for me to make this new study process work? For some of you, if this is more kind of belief, spiritual related, it could be based on your health. Maybe your beliefs around your health are changing in some sense. Or you're just realizing something about your spiritual and your physical health, or how you look after each other. You've got Mars opposing Pluto in your health houses. Okay, this is a good time where you need to actually give yourself a rest. It could be that you go away in order to rest your body, and that's going to be important for you, Leo. You're ruled by the sun. Okay, so full moons are important to you because you're ruled by the sun. Sun is in the 3rd. So it's during this time, maybe you're traveling around, maybe you're connecting more with other people. Okay, now the full moon itself is conjunct Chiron, so this is the wounded healer. So how are your beliefs shifting? How are your vulnerabilities coming to the surface? What are you realizing around this time? The 9th house is quite a fun house. It's an adventurous house. And maybe you're thinking about going on an adventure, or you're realizing that you need to go on an adventure for the sake of your health. It could be something like that. So we're going to pull you a tarot card. You have got Venus and Mercury in the 4th at the moment. So this is, pleasant energy going through your 4th house, conversations at home, pleasantries at home. Venus is opposing Uranus, so suddenly maybe perhaps changes within the home, sudden changes within the home could also be possible. We've got another resource card. Gosh, all the Earth cards coming out, guys. It is weird because it's a fire moon. 2nd of Earth. 2nd of Earth. 2nd of Earth, 2 of Earth. Honestly, my brain. Okay, pleasurable work, adaptability, balance between work and play. Okay, so that makes perfect sense between Pluto and Mars. So rest and recuperation, balance between working and resting. That's going to be important for you, Leos, under this moon. My effort brings me joy. My efforts bring me joy. Play and work are not separate because what I'm doing is actually fun. If conditions change, I can switch gears easily. I'm fully present in the excitement of creativity, and I'm eager to experience the surprises that occur when seeds I have planted take root, sprout, and develop in unexpected ways. This is a time for flexibility and trust in how the universe will shape what is coming into being. One way or another, my dreams manifest in the material world. So I think a big part of that is Pluto that's retrograded back into your 6th house of work. And as a part of this story, your routines and your work schedules perhaps are changing, or perhaps you're benefiting from it, and your beliefs are shifting around this time. So I think that is a big part of that, Leos. So let me know in the comments if you know how this is manifesting for you, and good luck. Okay, we have Virgo and Virgo rising. So you guys, this is a more of a sensitive full moon for you because this is happening in your 8th house of other people's money, intimacy, the occult, and psychology. self-development, self-transformation. So for some of you, this is you're coming into some money from other people. So it could be that you are having a realization about financial situations of another person. So it could be that you're coming into money from clients, your partner's earning more money. There's a realization around debts and taxes and finances, maybe having to address some financial topic of some sense. So yes, for some of you, it's paying something off. Yes, for some of you, it is having to pay something. Now, the ruler of this is Mars in your 11th house. So it could be groups of people, friendships, or it could be your goals. So maybe you're financing a goal that you had. But it's a square, so you're having to put a bit more effort in, or it's causing some emotional tension in some sense. Maybe you're feeling a bit anxious or feeling a bit frustrated. Obviously, Virgos, we know that you can get a bit anxious. And maybe during this time, money situations are causing you to feel a bit anxious. For some of you, it could be that you're thinking about purchasing a house. It could be, yeah, so for some of you, it's going to be financial. Like I said, it could be you're benefiting from a partner's resources in some sense, or a friendship. Friends. Sorry, I can't actually speak today. I don't even know what's wrong with me. Mercury's not even retrograding. Sorry, the 11th house is friendships. So because Mars is here, this could have a direct link with your friendship, with your friends in some sense. But yeah, or it could be your goals. So like I just said, financing something that is a goal of yours during this time. But when we've got this opposition, so it's like whatever you're financing could have something to do with children, could have something to do with fun and pleasure and hobbies. You're financing something that's going to bring you joy, Virgo. For some of you, there could be frustration around a topic to do with children. The 8th house is intimacy. So you could be having intimate conversations with a partner, having a realization about intimacy with a partner. Your goals are changing, or there's some frustration around yours and your partner's goals. For some of you. For some of you, it could be that you are ending an occult practice. You are thinking about starting an occult practice, because the full moons are also kind of beginnings as well, because you're finishing one thing and starting another. The 8th house is the psychic house. So it could be that you're thinking about doing tarot. It could be that you've finished up a cycle to do with tarot and witchcraft and that kind of thing, or you're putting more energy and focus into tarot and witchcraft. So for some of you, you could be going quite literally to like a tarot night, because the ruler is here in the 11th house. So there's some sort of group involved with spooky things, a realization around ghosts. Maybe your beliefs around ghosts and ghouls are coming to light or changing in some sense during this time. The 8th house is also, it's therapy. So for some of you, you could be seeing a therapist, talking to a therapist, and you're feeling very emotionally vulnerable or frustrated during this time, and it could be having an effect on your relationships. That's a theory for some of you. You have now got Jupiter retrograding in your 10th house. So who you are and how you're appearing to the world could be changing, or you're having opportunities come to you in terms of your career, and that could be linked to the finances in some way. Let me know, Virgo, how this is manifesting for you. Yeah, I find the 8th house so interesting because it's so many different things that aren't really related. Like occult and therapy has got not anything to do with other people's money. So I just find it so fascinating how these do show up in the same house. Well, so let me know, Virgo, how this is manifesting for you. I'm going to pull a card. At the moment, you've got Venus and Mercury moving through your 3rd house. This is bringing you benefits and more energy in terms of connecting with others, communication, even though Venus is opposing Uranus. So it could be that you're having unusual conversations with a partner, or your relationships are different around this time. Just kind of unusual, because Uranus is the energy of like just anything, basically. 8 of air. Okay, so this, you've got the first air sign, and I think this is always relevant, Virgos, because you are in your heads a lot. You're not an air sign, you're an earth sign, but you're ruled by Mercury. Okay, 8 of air. If we can find it, I'm going to read you. This is a positive affirmation. So it says, release from denial and seeing things as they are. Clarity. With spirit at my side, encouraging me, I open my eyes to see things as they really are. To be disillusioned is to free myself from illusions that keep me from the growth and healing I deserve. So I bid goodbye to illusions that have clouded my vision. Honesty gives me strength and courage to face whatever I have to face. So that is a slightly more challenging card for you, Virgos. What is going on for you mentally that you need to be honest with yourself about? Okay. Now, Mercury has gone into Scorpio, so you can go deeper with your thoughts during this time. Mercury is your chart ruler. Gone into Scorpio, so it could be that you're, focused on your psychotherapy, quite literally, just going deeper, having those deeper conversations. What is it that you're struggling with at this time that you need to go a bit deeper on? And that would make sense for the 8th house, because the 8th house is it can be the house of crisis because it's our own self-transformation. So for some of you, that will be relevant. Okay, so let me know in the comments how that's manifesting for you, Virgos, and good luck. Libra and Libra rising. So you guys are having this full moon in your 7th house of relationships. This is a realization. This is an ending around your one-on-one relationships with other people. The North Node is here, guys. This is an angular house for you, so it's strong. What is it that you need to release in terms of relationships with other people in order for you to move towards developing healthy relationships in a courageous, independent, and fresh energy? Aries is the fresh energy. Okay, it's the baby energy. It's spring. But a full moon is like a realization. Obviously, you guys have been having eclipses in these houses. You're probably sick of the relationship stuff going on, but there's going to be a realization here for you, or an ending. So for some of you, yes, this could be an ending within your relationship because this is squaring Mars in your 10th house of public image. Let me know in the comments if that is you. For some of you, this is, if you work with clients, it's actually a busy time. You could just be really busy at work within your career and you're feeling a bit frustrated, or you're feeling a bit overwhelmed. Now, Chiron is here in the 7th house as well. So if this is relationship based, how are you letting go of what no longer serves you, and how are you healing? Vulnerabilities could be coming up for you under this full moon, Libra, okay? Because relationships are important to you because you are the sign of relationships. But there has to be healthy relationships, okay? Now, Pluto has just retrograded back into your 4th house. What's going on at home? There may be some power struggles during this time because Mars is opposing Pluto in your 4th. So a parent could be involved, especially in this. Could be some power struggles at home, or some movement within the home, or some frustration within your home environment. Like I said, I mean, some of you could be getting married under this full moon. You could be getting divorced under this full moon because of all these eclipses and everything that's been going on. Saturn's in your 6th, so your routines are under scrutiny around this time. Client-based business. If you're not in a relationship and you don't desire to be in one, this is any significant one-on-one relationship with other people. How do you speak to your friends? How do you how do you show up within your friendships? How do they show up? What friendships are important to you? Do you have to make up with somebody? Business partnerships, realization or an ending for a business partnership because of perhaps your career is changing, or a changing career, and your business partnerships are changing. You guys get the 4 of air. Okay. Now, another air. I'm going to read the positive affirmation. Healing, meditation, rest, and recuperation. Okay. So perhaps you're having to heal from a relationship. It's time to rest my mind and allow peace to take the place of busyness or boredom. The mind needs quiet to think and find clarity. If I allow my mind to rest, I will have greater clarity and my mind will be sharper. This is the time for a break. I need to take care of myself. So that is a bit of a kind of slightly depressing card, guys, but you know, for some of you, if you are going through a breakup, it's very much suggesting that you need to take time to rest and heal and just take a step back. You're just going backwards in your ninth house of your beliefs. So perhaps you're having to just think, actually, what is it that I believe in? Okay. What do I believe in? How are my beliefs changing? What's going on at home? How can I just focus on my self-care a little bit at the moment? The sun in Libra, you know, this is very much self-care. This is you. Okay. Just taking time out. Okay, Libras. So good luck. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. You guys are having this full moon in your 6th house. Okay, full moon in Aries in your 6th house. Now, you've been having eclipses in these signs over the past year and a half, so you're familiar with what's going on in this area of your life. How are your routines changing? How is your dedication to work and to other people changing? How is your mental health being affected, Scorpio? Now, a full moon in your 6th is a realization or the ending of something to do with a health matter. Perhaps some of you, some health issues could be coming to the surface during this time. If you've got any planets or angles around the 24-degree mark, because this full moon itself is squaring Mars, and these houses are considered potentially not the most positive houses of the chart, because this is the self-undoing. These houses cannot see, so the 6th and the 12th cannot see you, so they're a bit more, it can be a bit more challenging, but with this square to Mars in the 9th of your beliefs. So for some of you, this could be a health issue coming to light. For some of you, it could be your work. How is your work changing? You could be actually really busy at work during this time with the Mars energy as well. You could just be really busy. It could be that you're actually having, though, to take some time to slow down, to focus on a health matter. I mean, you have got Venus in the 1st, so actually she's benefiting you here, and Mercury's just gone into your 1st house, so it could be that you're traveling a lot more for work and it's causing you feelings of frustration, or you're just you're putting a lot of energy into your work right now, but it could be affecting your health. So this full moon is reminding you need to focus on your health. For some of you, there could be a change in your routines. So, you know, how you go about your day. What do you do when you get up in the morning? How are your routines changing? Pets as well. Pets, realization around your pets, change within your pets, squaring Mars, issues with the pet. Maybe a pet has to go to a vet, something like that. Injuring yourself at work could happen over this time with the square to Mars. Just kind of, maybe not so much with Venus in your 1st house, but she is opposing Uranus. So actually that could be changes within your work relationships could happen under this time, because Venus is opposing Uranus in your 1st and 7th houses. You guys get the star card. This is not bad at all. Worth mentioning also that Pluto has retrograded back into your 3rd house and opposing Mars. So this is your belief. So how are your beliefs shifting around this time? Do you need to focus more on your health, mental health, physical health? And you're having a realization around this, okay? Star card. This is the card of I think it's like a Aquarian card. I can never remember these off by heart, guys, so you have to excuse me. I'm going to read you the positive affirmation. Inspiration. I'm hopeful and inspired by life right now, and everything that is happening points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes I have experienced, I'm starting to recognize the hope that comes from new beginnings. Okay, well, that's a positive card. So whatever is going on in your life right now, Scorpio, this card is giving you a bit of positive reassurance that there's hope. There is hope for the future, whatever that means for you, whether it's work related, health related, there is hope for you. So take that and let me know in the comments how this is manifesting for you. Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This full moon is happening in your 5th house. So this is a realization, this is energy, this is an ending around something to do with something you've created or how you're expressing yourself in some way. 5th house is romance, dating, children, creative projects, and what we do for fun. So maybe you're realizing that you need to get out and have fun, and you're feeling frustrated that you're not doing that, and you're working on your own self-transformation. Mars in the 8th. Maybe you're having a realization around a romantic partnership, or there's just more energy in your love and in your romance house during this time. So for some of you, you could be going on a date. For some of you, you could be ending a relationship. For some of you, you could actually be going a bit deeper with a partner, because the ruler of this is in your 8th house of intimacy. Perhaps you're having to go deeper with a partner, or your intimacy is not there and you're feeling frustrated around it. Venus and Mercury are hiding away in your 12th at the moment, so perhaps you're not really talking about things. Perhaps you're for some of you, you could be unhappy with your love life, and you're actually realizing you're unhappy with it during this time. Now, for some of you, you are going and doing something fun, and it could have something to do with the taboo subjects, ghosts, tarot, witchcraft. For some of you, this could be you're releasing a creative project that you've been working on. And the square to Mars in your 8th is you're feeling frustrated around the money that you're receiving for it from other people. For some of you, this could be something to do with your children. So your children are having a change or a realization. Your child is feeling a bit sensitive around this time, okay, about a certain topic. That could also be the case. Now, you guys have had Jupiter going retrograde, which rules you, in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships. So if you watch my Jupiter retrograde video, I'll have already said this, but kind of connecting with people from the past could be a romantic thing. You've got Jupiter in the 7th, full moon in the 5th. So for some of you, this is romance related, connecting with people from the past, going back to or rethinking around your relationships with other people. Do I want a relationship? Don't I want a relationship? Jupiter in the 7th is bringing you opportunities if that's what you want, but you have to work with the energy. But it could just be that because this full moon is happening in your 5th house of romance, you're thinking more about it at this time. Maybe you're realizing you want to be romanced and you don't feel like you are being romanced. But yeah, for some of you, it's going to be, how are you expressing yourself? How are you connecting with other people? So remember at the beginning, we talked about that connection with others. 5th house is being able to express yourself. It's you, it's your ego. The 5th house is your ego. So are you expressing yourself? You've got the North Node here, so it wants you to be your true self around this time, okay? But with this square to Mars, there could be some sort of feeling of frustration or just having to put a bit more effort in. Now, you guys get the 6 of fire. This is a creative card for the 5th house, which is a creative house. So 6 of fire, I'm going to read you the positive affirmation. 6 of fire, 6 of fire. Fire card for a fire moon. Stepping into the limelight. What should I say? Being an enlightened influencer. I generously model my transformation so that others might be inspired. I put my light atop of a hill so it can shine forth, helping others to find their way. I remain aware of shadows and people who have trouble basking in the warm light of higher awareness. I bless them, but do not dim my own beacon. It's a time to renew my trust that I am contributing to the highest good of all in my own unique way. Okay, so for some of you, yes, this is stepping into your power, 5th house. 5th house is the stage. Some of you will be stepping onto the stage, okay? Now, it's just interesting with this, of course, square to Mars, because it's like, maybe it doesn't feel comfortable for you to do that. Because the 8th house is our mind and it's our own self-transformation. So you're stepping into the limelight, but it doesn't feel as comfortable. It doesn't feel that comfortable to do it. But just do it, Sagittarius. Get yourself out there. Good luck. Let me know in the comments how this is manifesting for you. Capricorn and Capricorn rising. So you guys are experiencing the full moon. Why has it not moved around? Hold on, let me just move it a bit more. Oh, it's sitting at 1 degree. It is actually in your 4th house. Sorry, it's because I'm changing the wheel and it doesn't always do what I wanted to do. But you are actually experiencing the full moon in your 4th house, okay, Capricorn? So, guys, this is a realization. It's something coming to an end. to do with your family, home, living situation, or it's just a realization. You're real. So what I mean by realization is it's like a light bulb moment. It's like, oh, that often happens. That is often how a full moon manifests. It's like a, okay. So in your fourth house of family and home, it's like a, okay, this is how my life is. This is how my living. This is what my living situation is like right now. This is what I'm experiencing right now at home with a family member. Or your inner emotional world, okay? Because the fourth house is the closest part to us. It's our core. So Capricorns, what are you realizing about yourself around this time? Are you having some conflict within your relationships? Because Mars in the seventh is a pain in the bum, not going to lie, and it's squaring this full moon. So for most of you, not I'm going to say most, a lot of you, it will be you're not getting on that well with a partner or somebody that you live with, and it's causing you feelings of frustration, a realization about where you want to live, but a relationship is affecting this in some sense and it's causing you frustration. For some of you, it can be the ending of something. So perhaps you are moving, because you're moving, you're having arguments with your partner, because obviously moving is very stressful. Now, Pluto has retrograded back into your first house, Capricorn. This is such a big time for you guys because you are taking back your power. Mars in the seventh house is telling me you're taking back your power in relationships at the moment. What's going on with your partner? Tell me. You're setting your boundaries, okay? Pluto is giving you one final last touch of transformation, and you're never ever ever going to have Pluto in your sign ever again. So you're using this to your advantage, okay? But under this energy, there's some power struggles. That's just something to be aware of. Now, and Venus is hidden in your 12th, which is opposing Uranus. So it's almost like she's kind of hiding away. You may want to shut yourself behind closed doors. You might not be feeling your best during this time. Fourth house is also family members. So it could be a change within a family member or a realization within a family member for some of you. You guys get the Fool card. That is very random. That is so random. Fool cards, like, just go, just do it. Just be free. You don't have to have a plan. You're going to figure it out, Capricorns. That's what that energy is, okay? I'm going to read you the positive affirmation. It's enthusiasm. I know that a spiritual approach rarely appeals logical and sometimes even seems impractical, because you guys are practical, right? However, when this card appears, I can take a risk and trust that with faith, everything is possible. Anything is possible. The invisible realms will reveal each step along the way. I am meant to experience this regardless of where I travel. This is a time where I'm learning that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. So for some of you, could have some spiritual revelations around this time, or just maybe you're feeling more like you want to trust in the process because perhaps you are going through a lot with your relationships or your home environment in some sense. And you're thinking, actually, I'm just going to trust the process. That is the best thing that you can do around this time, guys. Okay, the full moon is also squaring Pluto. So this is in your first house. So, you know, you are taking back your control, and you have the power at this time. Okay, so I want to wish you good luck. Let me know in the comments how this is manifesting. Aquarius and Aquarius rising. So you guys are experiencing this full moon in your, okay, it's not moving backwards now. It is in your third house. Just ignore the fact that moon's here. It's in your third house, okay? And it's at 24 degrees, not 25 degrees. So this is a realization. It's things coming to light. It's perhaps a busy time for you, Aquarius. Now, the third house is your connection in your neighborhood, your connection with other people, your communication with other people, your relatives, your siblings, and your neighborhood. So perhaps something is going on with a relative, perhaps a relative or a sibling, something to do with their health, because Mars is in your sixth house of health. Perhaps you're having a realization around your kind of routines. The third house is like how you go about your day to day. Do you get up? Do you drive to work? Do you do the school run? It's here, there, and everywhere. Okay, so busy time for you, but maybe an ending. So maybe the way that you're traveling around or places you're traveling are ending in some sense, because the Mars is in your sixth house of routine. So maybe your routines or your school run or your work run, or you know, you go to work in the morning and you get a coffee on the way to work. Things like that could be changing. It could be that you're wanting to learn something, Aquarius. Maybe you're wanting to start learning something new. The Sun is in your ninth house of higher learning. The North Node is in your third. So perhaps you're wanting to learn something new around this time, and it could be connected to your work. So it could be that you're having to study something or do some training for work, and it's making you feel a bit frustrated, like you don't really want to do it. Mercury is also in your 10th house of career, so conversations about your career, traveling for, so some of you could be traveling for your career during this time, but it's just kind of a busier period in terms of your daily errands. But for some of you, this is a relative or a sibling having don't want to say communicating, just a realization around a sibling or a relative during this time. You've got Venus in your 11th house at the moment, so she's bringing you blessings within groups, so it could be that you're kind of mingling a bit more, but generally the full moon is going to be, I mean, third house isn't the strongest house, so it's, unless you've got any planets around 25 degrees, you might just kind of be something going on in the background. But the third house is also your mind, so it could just be a sense of, how am I talking to myself, what are my thought processes, because you've got Pluto that's retrograded back into the 12th house. How am I self-sabotaging? Okay, what can I do to not self-sabotage anymore? What are my thought processes and how can I change that? But it's growing, and perhaps this is affecting your health in some way, because the 6th house is our physical health. Okay, let me know in the comments if you know what that is, Aquarius, and how that's manifesting for you. You guys get the Fortune's Wheel. This is a positive card. Okay, this is positive. I'm going to read you the positive affirmation. Destiny means synchronicity. I am in awe to experience many meaningful coincidences that prove to me that Spirit has my back. These lucky breaks and moments when things just turn out perfectly show how we're all connected. My gamble will pay off when I trust my co-creative partnership with Spirit. My destiny is obvious to me now. So that is a very spiritual card for you guys. Maybe Pluto going back into your 12th house is having some sort of transformation around your connection to Spirit in some sense. It does mention co-creation, and the 3rd house is about connection. So for some of you, this will be very much kind of connecting with other people. So let me know how that is manifesting for you, and good luck. Pisces, are we still playing? Yeah, Pisces and Pisces rising. Sorry, it's not moving around. You're actually having this full moon in your 2nd house in Aries. Okay, so you guys have had this theme to do with finances going on throughout the eclipses over the past kind of year and a half. Now, this is a full moon. This is a realization around this. Okay, now the realization around your financial situation. Perhaps you're starting to think about where you want to put your money. Perhaps you're starting to think about how much money you're earning, where money is coming in. There's just an emphasis here on your financial houses and things coming to light. Okay, squaring Mars in the 5th. So it could be that a child is costing you more money and it's feeling frustration. It could be that you're realizing you're having to spend more money on a child. Or it could be that you are spending more money on your hobbies, or your hobbies are costing you more money than what you want them to, something like that. If it's not finance related, Pisces, it's going to be self-esteem related, or values. So a realization around what it is you actually value during this time. What are your values? What's important to you? And how is your, how's your self-esteem? Okay. Full moon in Aries is asking you to be courageous, be bold, go after what it is that you want. Venus has just gone into your 10th house of career. Have you got a career opportunity and you're having a rethink around what's important to you? Pluto is just retrograded into your 11th house of being of service to other people, of your collective, but also your goals. How are your goals changing? There's a power struggle going on here between your 5th house of creativity, Mars ruling this full moon, and Pluto in the 11th. So it's like a realization around your finances or what you value, tied in with children and your goals. So for some of you, it could be that your goals around children are changing, or you're realizing you're having to sort your finances out because a child's coming in. Or for some of you, like I said, your children are costing you money. Perhaps their hobbies or whatever kind of group work they do is costing you money. Perhaps you're having you're thinking at the moment about how you express yourself. But this full moon, these are the houses of fun. Okay. So how is what you value being kind of tested by how you like to have fun? Maybe you're realizing something about what's important to you under this, if it's not finance related. Maybe you're focusing on your self-esteem. Okay. For some of you, you could be focusing on your self-esteem, and you're doing that by being more creative, finding a healthy way to express yourself. But the square, it's like a tent. So it's like some sort of frustration here. Now, you could just be really, really busy in terms of this money, in terms of these houses. So it could be that, yeah, there's just emphasis on what am I spending? What am I spending? What's coming in? What's going out? But then there's this pull to how you like to have fun and your children in some sense. So let me know, Pisces, if you know what this could be. Obviously, the fifth house has many different things, and the ruler of this full moon is in the fifth, so that is playing a part. We've got Chiron in the second house. Oh my God, I've been shuffling his cards for so long. I'm just literally sat here like that. Chiron in the second house is going to highlight a wound around your financial situation or around your self-esteem, because Chiron is right next to the full moon, even though I haven't got it on this chart. So that's just something to be aware of, Pisces. Now you guys get the High Priestess. Wow, that's a powerful card, number 2. Okay, I'm going to read you the positive affirmation for this, and then we'll think about what it could mean. Mystery. Some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes. This is the time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. So some things are not meant to be known. Okay, that's really interesting. So take that as you will, Pisces. If you know what that can mean for you and how that's manifesting for you, then please obviously let me know in the comments. If you did get value from this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please let me know in the comments how you think this is manifesting for you. Obviously, your own personal charts will color this, as I've already mentioned. If you don't subscribe, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future content from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.